And you guys are live.
Thank you. I'd like to begin the Planning Committee meeting of Akron City Council. At this moment, I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the previously held meeting.
Motion to accept the meetings of previous meeting.
Thank you.
Minutes of previous meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Baylor. Is there a second out there?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Against? Hearing none against. The minutes approved as reported. Going into the list of legislation, this first item is this is the business enhancement grants that are provided. Did we amend this, Ms. Biviano? I know we talked about it.
There was not an amendment, but Mr. Becker did send out an email with some information to include.
Okay. Okay, so we do have an email with additional information. This is, from what I was told, this is basically a law department driven piece of legislation. I see Mr. Becker is on board here. Mr. Becker, did you have anything to report on this first item?
Yeah, I did send an email based on what Mr. Malik's questions were from last week, which basically indicated what the funding can be used for the businesses. And I did also double check with the law department on any contracts or grants or anything over $50,000. And Mr. Fusco, you were correct about the charter. It does indicate that it must come back to council anyway. So really the amendment to the legislation saying that is really not necessary because we already have it in our charter. So as is, council can pass the legislation.
Okay, very good. Mr. Malik, I see your hand is up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to check. I don't believe I received that email. I don't know if it was directed to me, but I just want to make sure I didn't miss it.
I can forward it.
Thank you. I don't know whether maybe, consent agenda or something would be appropriate so that, everyone would have a chance to review that.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Thank you.
Fine.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Becker, too. Further questions or comments? I'd like to entertain a motion for consent agenda on the first item. Motion for consent.
Motion for consent.
Thank you. I got two. I'll consider that as a motion in a second. All those in favor of consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Hearing none against, we'll report that out on the consent agenda. Going to recommend time on the balance of the agenda. The regular list of legislation, and ask that we move into the new okay, the first item is ordinance authorizing conditional use to construct a storage building at 101 Fulmer. Mr. Antonucci, so we're going to advertise.
Yes, we would refer for public hearing. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
those in favor of referring for public hearing signify by saying aye.
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 We good against? The ayes have it, of course. Item number 3 is a conditional use to construct an automatic car wash at 917 Talmadge Avenue.
Let's refer for public hearing, please.
Thank you, Mr. Antonucci. All those in favor of referring this item signify by saying aye.
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 The ayes have it. 4, authorizing conditional use to construct a permanent supportive housing facility at 808 Allen Street.
So we'd ask this be referred for public hearing.
Okay, thank you, sir. All those in favor of a public hearing signify by saying aye.
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 Against? The ayes have it. Very good. 5 is approving the sale of a city-owned property located at 273 North Howard Street pursuant to the city's Allow for Little program in order to facilitate the productive reuse of the property and to reduce the cost to the city and the taxpayers in maintaining vacant lots. Somebody here on this particular item?
I am, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Wheat.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members. I'm Frederick Week with OID. This is a lot for little sale at 273 North Howard Street. Purpose of it is the city no longer needs it for its purposes, and we want to sell it to a budding property owner for reuse. This will be the standard lot for little price.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Wheat. Was this forwarded to the ward council person beforehand so that they were aware that this is coming before the legislation came in?
I'm not aware. I know it went to PC.
No, we did not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, typically what we do is we try to make sure that the ward council person is aware before the legislation comes in. So, you know, whenever it's like in the pipeline, if you will, so that they're aware before it comes in. So, Ms. Samples, this is in your district, I believe. Have you had an opportunity to review this? Sorry, on mute.
Oh, yeah, I have not. If we could take, I need to look at it.
Okay.
I need to make sure it's residential and it's not like going to a business because this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Samples. Ms. Samples, is a week's time okay, Mr. Wheat?
That's fine. Thank you.
Week is fine.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Mr. Malik, I see your hands up.
Thank you. Yeah, I just did have one question from Mr. Wheat. Is this going to be used for residential construction with the adjoining corner lot? I know that it's an LLC that's purchasing it, I believe.
No, Mr. Dan Gordo is going to expand his business. We need
Okay.
more space.
What kind of business is it?
He's in construction. He does cement constructions. His property is at 31 East Lide Street.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, very good. Ms. Samples, would you like to make a motion to refer this item?
Yes. Motion to refer, please.
Thank you. Is there a second out there?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of referring item number 5 on the new list of legislation signify by saying aye.
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 Against? Very good. Okay, thank you all. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you. Viviana, turn it over to you.
Thank you. Our next committee meeting will be the Parks and Recreation Committee, and that will begin at 1:45. Those committee members are Neil, Samples, Malik, Lombardo, and Connor. Again, that will begin at 1:45.